trade off the 4 hour and the 2 hour and the 1 hour. That's why I have that step 4 video. Because when you're trading off the 4 hour and the 2 hour, there's so much buying pressure and so much volume coming in, is that it triggers that there's so much coming in that there's going to be where people see that, you know, there's interest in that movement, but it's getting that volume and that pressure for a reason, meaning that they're pumping it, you know what I mean? So the goal is very simple, right? So the goal is to be successful on every, like your 10 trades, right? So you have to think of it like this. The goal is to use a 50x leverage, right? And to get a 1% movement. On lower time frames, an hour and below, you know, like you really don't want to trade anything less than a 30-minute like time session. But when you're trading and you're trading in a session where if you need to get a 1% move, which is a 50x leverage against a 1% move, means that it moves 1%, you made 50% profit. That's our goal. So to make that happen more often, we trade on the 2 and the 4 hour, because the 2 and the 4 hour average 3 to 8% moves. So which means if it's averaging a 4% on those trades, if it only does 25% of what it's supposed to do, we still move 1%, which is our 50% gains. And if we're moving our stop losses properly, we're setting our stop losses at that 45% mark anyways, and we're triggering out where we're taking those profits, right? And why is that important? It's because what that basically means is we're trading on, we want to have the better percent of winning, right? This is why I think the biggest thing is the mindset is everybody wants to make a million trades because they see people making 200-300%, and they're like, man, if I make 200% every trade, man, I could have $1 million by the end of the week. And what the problem is that this is about building bags. This is about building up your bags to where you start off with $50 bags. So if you have $100, you have 2 bags, and you start off with your $50, and your job is to get a 50% trade on that, right? And how this works, and we're probably getting a 5-minute pullback on the CFX. But what happens is you get this very simple concept. This is about percentages, right? This is not about money. This is about percentages, right? And here's how it works. You have a $50 bag, and the goal is to get 10 trades under your belt. I should actually short that. But your goal is to get 10 trades, right? And this is the percentage of the 10 trades, right? So if you get into a trade and you wait for the RSI to be in your favor on the 2 hour, the 1 hour, the 30-minute, and the 15-minute, and you make that trade, the odds of success of that trade moving the 1% is 90%, right? So we have a high percentage of win value, right? But you have to wait for that moment to happen, right? So when you do this, it's just basically, percentages, right? So if we have a $50 bag and we make our trade and we get our 50% profit, right? Meaning that half of that is take-home profit of 25%. And we move on to the next trade. And the next trade, we hit it again and we get another 25%, right? That means 4 trades that we get into properly by waiting, by being patient, are going to double our bag. So out of 4 trades, we should literally, in 4 trades, have a second $50 bag sitting in our futures account, right? Meaning that we have $50 in there, we now have $100 in there. So now you could realistically, if there's other trades that are happening or popping up at certain times, you can realistically say, hey, I have an extra $50 that I can put somewhere in case a trade starts to happen and I get in and it's taking longer to manifest and I'm sitting around, but another trade pops up. I can, as long as my stop loss is set, as long as my profit target is set, right? I'm all good because I have this other $50 that I can look for a trade. But this is the whole system, is taking the $50, making 4 solid trades, getting yourself up. Now let's say during those 4 trades, like the first trade you do good because you waited and you're patient. The second trade you do, you get a little less, maybe instead of 50%, you get 36%, right? The third trade you get into, it goes up. You don't really take profits or set your stop loss, but it starts to move up. And when you enter a trade, it's supposed to be like this: $50 trade. You enter in waiting for your 5-minute pullback. You put a 25% stop loss, meaning that you type in the number that says your stop loss is around 20%, 20-25% if it goes the wrong way, and your take profit you set at 50 to maybe like 75%. So if it spikes up, it automatically takes a 75% gain. I put mine at 100 so that it just, if it spikes, it takes it automatically, and that's your trade, right? So if the trade goes wrong, you lose 25% of the bag, right? So if you get into a trade and it starts to move, now once you're in a trade and we see the percent go to 10% and then 20% profits, we move our stop loss from 25% stop loss, we move it up to the entry price so that if it does go the wrong way, we minimize losses, okay? Now, trade continues on. It hits 45, 50%. You move your stop loss up to the 10% mark, right? Not all the way to 20, to the 10% mark. So that way, it's like that just covers fees, right? Now you're set. And as it starts to move, if it drops down and it cuts you out at 10%, that was a null and void trade. You broke dead even, didn't hurt you, paid for the fees, you didn't lose anything. Now, if the trade continues on and hits 50%, and that's your target, right? This is where you should start taking profits, right? Where you should, and I'll make a video on that, on taking profits, where you can grab 50% of your bag and type in on the side. You can type in where, let me take a look at here, we make sure we don't miss this 2-hour moon. Where we can take in profits and look at, where we can basically take half of our $50 out of the trade. And all you do is on MEXC, there's a little arrow, you go to the right of the stop loss where you put add, and it has a thing that says price. Whatever the price is up there up top, you type in the current price and you type in the quantity that you want to take. I made a video of that. And you just sell 50% of your position at your 50x if you wanted to see about running, or maybe you're at 75 or 80x and you sell 50% of your position and you're like, I'm going to leave this next position in and I'm going to put my stop loss at 45% stop loss, and then I'm going to see if this is going to continue to move for me. Maybe I get lucky. But once it pumps to 120, 130, or 140, something like that, just close out and take those profits totally, and that's your win, right? So let's say you have an average trade, right? Let's go through 10 basic trades with those scenarios, right? So you get into a trade and you get your 35% profit and you're like, I got out, kind of stop loss because you're new at it. That is, take that out, 36%. The next trade you get in, you actually hit your 50% target, you did well. The next trade, it goes up and down, it moves down, you stop loss, you break even, right? So that break even trade right there is nothing in there. The fourth trade you don't do as well, it's stop losses, you at 25%, takes away one of your winning trades. The next one you get in, 30% again. The next trade you get in, you stop loss out, takes away one of your winning trades. The next trade that you get in, you turn around and you get your 50%, right? And you're on point. Now that's 2 winning trades for you. The next trade you get in, it has a nice little jump. You get, your 100%. Those are 4 winning trades for you. And then you close out the next 2 trades where one breaks even, the other one gives you 30%, right? At the end of the day, out of those 10 trades, you had a 50% winning record, right? You did terrible, but you were able to scrape out a nice little 180% gains, right? Which means half of that is your, 90%, right? Which is you doubling your bag in 10 trades. So you did absolutely terrible, but by being in the right trades at the right time, the bigger trades, right? You were able to get the percentages in your favor, which allowed you to win. Now, you're going to get better on entries. You're going to get better on being patient, and you're going to see the mistakes that you made on the ones that you lost, and you're going to not make those mistakes again because you're going to see that they're happening, right? So the next 10 trades that you do, you're going to be more efficient and you're going to get 220% gains, which half of that is 100, which means the next 10 trades, you doubled your bag again, right? So you're 50, you got it to 100, put it to the side. Next 50, got it to 100, a lot easier because you're getting better, right? And then the third time, 50 to 100, now you're starting to say, I'm starting to understand this shit, right? And the fourth time, this is why we do the 4x4, you trade in, you flip that 50 to 100, and now you have moved up to your first 4x4, and now you can take your $50 trading bag and add $50 to it, and now you trade with $100, right? Now you sit with $100 and you say, all right, I got to be even more patient because now I have more money at risk, which means I can't make a stupid decision and lose 25% because that's like losing 50, right? Mm-hmm. So now you say, I'm going to wait for 2-hour green moons. I'm going to wait until every RSI is moving in my direction. I'm going to just find those trades that just are the better percents of winning, and I'm not going to jump in early, and I'm not going to take any risk, and I'm going to be smart about this shit because I need to make sure that when I enter this trade that I'm getting in the right trade, right? And then you go to that video I made. It's real simple. Every trade that we trade has to be a certain direction. Look at CFX right now, right? First, the thing we want to look at is the 4-hour RSI. Is it trading in our direction? It is. Is it a green moon? It is, right? So this is kind of like, all right, we got a green moon here. What does the green moon mean to us? That means during the green 4-hour moon that we should be looking for longs. The potential and percent of them actually working out is higher during this time frame because there's more volume, right? So the next thing we do is we go to the 2-hour and we say, all right, where is our RSI? Now, currently this RSI on the 2 hours, you can see right here, we have a red moon, but we have a green trend, right? So what are we waiting for? The next green moon to hit, right? And it looks like it's starting to build up. What's the issue though? The only problem here with the green moon here on the 2-hour is that our RSI had bent down and had a pullback, right? So see our pullback? But it's not headed up yet, but it's starting to head up. So I'm saying to myself, all right, I could probably get into a long here because the 4 hours up, the 2 hours starting to move up, starting to look in my favor right now. And then I go to my 1 hour and look at my 1 hour, completely going up in my favor. I jump to the 30-minute because no matter what, we do not trade against the 30-minute. All right, so here we go. Boom, 30 minutes moving up. That's looking good. So this looks like we're getting into a long position, but my 30-minute is already kind of heading towards the top here. Now we got a little room here to go, so we could see a pump until the 100 line, right? How you put the 100 line is you just go to the side, there's a little plus sign. Always put a line at top, and this is just draw a horizontal line across, just so you know where the 100 is, right? Normally when it hits the 100, it rejects. So now I look at the 30-minute, I have room here. This looks good. I go to my 15-minute. 15 minutes kind of at the top, so which means I'm not going to have as much time as I want to do a long here. So I probably just want to say, let this reset for me, right? So let's just let this reset. But right now I'm excited because everything else looks like I'm along. Then I go to the 5-minute, which is my entry point, right? Now I look for my long entry. What do I have? I have a green moon, right? What else do I have? Overbought 5-minute RSI, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go long on this, except I'm going to wait for this RSI to reset, and I'm going to wait for the 15-minute to reset, right? You see how that works? Mm-hmm. So now I'm not going to get into any long positions here on my CFX because even though I have my 2 hour, my 4 hour, everything, my 1 hour is all trading in my direction, I can't enter because my 5-minute is oversold and my 15-minute is oversold too, right? So I need the 15-minute and the 5-minute to go back down. And what's going to happen, unfortunately, during that time period, because my 30-minute is already kind of almost to the top, if the other two reset and this comes back down, if this 30-minute is at the top and it's starting to there, then I'd have to wait for the 30-minute to reset. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But once all that resets, that means the percent of me winning has just doubled, right? So why would I not wait? You have to wait, right? So then I would say, okay, I'm going to look at CFX. Now I know that all this has to happen, so I can take an educated guess and say I got about 5 minutes for that to reset, 5 minutes for the 15. The 30 minutes got about maybe an hour left. So I can say to myself, all right, set my personal, hey Siri, at 9:30, check CFS. Set my alarm, right? And then my cell phone will ring for me at 9:30 for me to go check CFS, right? The easiest thing for me to do here, right, is to find out what I'm doing here. More than likely, as this all moves across here, I'm probably going to get something set up. Now, when I go back here, remember what we're waiting for is the 2-hour moon, right? So all you have to do is set your alert here on the 2-hour moon, set the 2-hour moon alert, and then you don't even have to do anything. You just make sure it goes to your text message or your email, and when the 2-hour moon hits on CFX, that's your entry. Which more than likely it's going to hit after the 15-minute comes all the way back down, the 30-minute comes all the way back down, and the 5-minute is on its way down, and then they all reset at the same time. That's probably where we're going to see that. We're probably going to see that moon hit at that time. That makes sense?
Yeah. How do you know how to calculate the time period?
So everything that you look at, every time frame that you look at is times 3. So if you're looking at a 15-minute time frame, that's 45 minutes in the future. Right? So if you're looking at a 2-hour time frame, that's giving you an ideal of what's going to happen in the next 6 hours.
Okay.
All
So the
time
4
frames are
is
times 3.
12.
Huh?
4 hours is 12.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. That means when a green moon hits, right, the average is 12 hours during that 12-hour period. We're going to have some good action within those 12 hours.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we know right now the best thing about CFX is we have a 4-hour moon, so we can wait around. We just need everything to go into our favor. So now when we go to Doge, right, look at Doge, right? Doge is the opposite.
So
We
once
got,
you see a 4-hour moon on whatever coin you're working on, you start doing the research backwards until when everything is in line, then you jump in.
yeah. So the way longs work is that you start with the biggest time frame and you work towards the shortest time frame. Right?
Okay.
The way the shorts work is you start with the earliest time frame and you work towards the longest time frame. Right? So for instance, we're looking at Doge, right? So if we look at Doge and we see that we have a red moon, right? So since we're doing a short, we go to the 3-minute, right? So we take a look at the 3-minute. The 3-minute is pumping here. More than likely, it's going to reject off of this 200 moving average here at 9613. That gives us an ideal that we have a short position off of that line. Now we're going to rotate down and say, okay, what's the 5-minute? The 5-minute is also 9613, right? Which means that Doge is probably going to fight this moving average and get rejected and come down, right? So that way we're already like, all right, so here's your 15-minute green moon. Everything looks positive. Doge looks like it's pumping. It did pump. Let's go to the 15-minute. Where's our 15-minute RSI? 15-minute RSI is at the top, meaning that this is still pumping, which is okay. We want the 15-minute bending down, which is going to happen somewhere around 9640 area, right? This little area in here, right? Those are resistance lines. So now we go to the 30-minute, and we can see here on the 30-minute we have a red moon, and we can see where Doge is starting to pick up volume here, right? Which is good if you're looking for a short because we want it to be as high as it can be. So here's your 30-minute RSI. So we're going to let the 30-minute RSI run to the top, and then once it gets to the top, we'll start looking to short Doge, right? So then you go to your 1 hour and you say, where's your 1 hour? The 1 hour needs to run up a little too. So Doge right now is kind of like in a bounce situation where we need the 1 hour RSI to push up, the 30-minute to push up, and then we start looking for the short position coming down, right? Because right now Doge is in the red moon section, meaning that it's going to short, but it's going to short basically after every push. You see what I'm saying? Push and down, push and down, right? So that's what we're looking to get is the push and down, right? So go here and you take a look at your 30-minute RSI. When your 30-minute RSI got to the top, see here? Yeah, you see how it bent down right there?
Yep.
Right there. See how it bent down? Right there. Look at that short we got. I played that earlier. Now I'm going to let this run all the way back up, and then when the 30-minute RSI gets to this upper level up in here and it bends down again, I'm going to short again. As long as everything else is still heading in the downward direction, which is basically looking at my 4 hour, which is, and the weird thing about Doge is we're in a red moon, so shorts are the heavy side, but Doge's 4 hour is starting to go level. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Which means Doge is starting to pick up momentum. Now the other thing is that Doge has a shitload of volume. So Doge looks like it's going to have a big 2 days, right? So now so now I can start saying my shorts are not going to be as big as I want them to be because there's just too much volume right now. So now I can sit back and go, okay, when is Doge going to get a green moon? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now I can start setting myself up and put an alert on Doge and say, hey, I want to know when the next 4 hour green moon is because that's going to be big. Then I go to the 2 hour and I say, okay, the next 2 hour green moon is going to be big, which is probably going to be around here on Wednesday at 9 a.m. All right, so this is probably all going to come to a meet right here at 9 a.m. So this would be the section that I would expect Doge to come across and eventually get here. So if I look at my RSI, notice how my 2 hour RSI is starting to bottom out. You see what I'm saying? So Doge is literally in the middle of reversing. It's in the middle of reversing right now. See that? Starting to build momentum. So I would expect Doge somewhere in the, so you can look at these candles, right? And you can, if you don't know time, you can go to the other candles and go, okay, how long did it take Doge to go from here to here? So here's some volume. It took 1, 2, 3 candles to make this move here, right? So then you go here and go, shit, I'm going to need 1, 2, at least 3 candles, right? So you can put this mark here and go, all right, where's my 3 candles at? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to say Doge goes long somewhere at 1 in the morning. You get that 4th candle right there, 5 a.m., right? So now Doge is probably going to take longer to get everything going. So I would say that Doge is going to start looking to go long around 5 a.m. in the morning. That's going to give me all those candles. Here's my 2 hour bouncing, looking good. Then I come here, 1 hour, bouncing off the bottom, looking good. So if I was a betting man here, I would start looking at Doge as a long here because we're starting to build towards that direction. And this volume is already at its low. Everything's at its bottom. This is starting to head for a reversal. Go to the 30-minute. If you enter here, you're not in a bad position because your 30 minutes already at the bottom. So it's not too bad of a position. You know what I mean? It's not the greatest in the world. You don't have any real confirmation yet, but if you're looking at the overall reversal of Doge, you're probably right in the middle of it. Right? Now you go here and you look and you say, all right, I got a green moon on my 15-minute. The RSI jumped right here. That would have been where an entry for a long to hold overnight would be. And this is also, you can use the 15-minute to say, okay, the 15 and the 30-minute are normally very strong support zones, right? So notice here, Doge didn't even touch it, which means it's pretty strong right now. Didn't even use it for support. It just kind of zoomed by. So 93.05 this would probably be the best entry for Doge on a long right here, right? So that's what I would be looking for right there. Then when I go to my 30-minute, I look at the 200 moving average. We're way above that, man. This thing is strong, right? And it's all starting to levitate towards a long. So right now we already got our 30-minute long, our 15-minute long triggered. Now if that 30-minute triggers and I look at the other RSIs, I'm going to trade with those RSIs. You see here's your 1 minute fighting this right here. Here's your 15-minute, right? The biggest thing is...
I should look to get out of here. I should look to get out of Dodge. Doge.
What are you in a short?
Because I'm on a short in Doge, yeah.
Yeah, you should. I mean, right now it doesn't. It looks like, and plus we're getting into, like I said, moving into the next night. What's your percent on there?
Who the hell knows? I'm way backwards,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Doge is.
I'm at a negative 7% right now.
Yeah, Doge is looking to pump right now, right? So if you're looking at the Doge side Doge is in the middle of its reversal, right? And it's also hot right now, right? So you can look at it and go, okay, I mean, it is trending, it is looking good. I mean, like the other day, like I said, we did like the gamble of the week, you know what I mean? Like I'm convinced that Doge wants to hit, 13%. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm convinced that
So you think I
Doge.
should get out then, right? I should get out.
Yeah, Doge is going long, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going on.
yeah.
Well,
It's in the middle of its reversal. You can't know you can't. No one can be for sure, but I mean, the very first thing that we do here, right? So, I mean, you could post here and
that's a good
go,
likelihood.
yeah, I like Doge.
Sounds good.
Right. So for you, this is where you would look at it and say like, here's your 5 minute, right? So if we get above this 5 minute moving average, this 200 moving average right here, right? That'll become support, right? That's a really good support for Doge. Now let's go back and take a look here. So look at our 4 hour, right? The 4 hour is bending up, right? That's a huge, huge sign, man. That's bending north, right? Then we say, okay, the 4 hour is starting to react. What is it reacting to? Well, the 2 hour is bottomed out. 2 hour is north from bottom, right?
Around 5 o'clock in the morning, though, it should start moving up. You said.
Yeah. So now we look at the 1 hour. Where's the 1 hour? 1 hour is bottomed, right? So what do we got here, right? What trade do we have here, right? So the odds in our favor. The 4 hour RSI is being bent sideways and starting to head north. 2 hours bottomed out and starting to go north, right? The 1 hour is bottomed out and starting to go north, right? This is a long trade. So you can get in this long trade, right? So this is a very simple long trade. These are the trades that we're looking for, right? Right? Boom, right there. Our 2 hours in there, our 15 minutes. I'm getting in this trade right now. I'm going long on Doge because we've already bottomed out on our 2 hour, our 1 hour. So this is where I say when you look for trades, these are the trades that you're supposed to kind of be looking at and just basically hitting the Discord saying, hey guys, Doge's 4 hour RSI is bending, the 2 hour RSI is bottom, the 1 hour RSI is bottom, and then right here, you see how my 30 minutes bottom right here and starting to go up? So I'm going to go long here on this trade right here because of my 30 minute right here. And I'm going to lock in this early type trade right here, right? Now, this allows me a little bit of leeway. I go to my 15 minute. 15 minutes already
Do
got
you
a
go
move.
in at market or do you put in a limit?
So I do a limit. I put the price a little bit higher. And then I buy in because I'm buying in here at the 96. What did I get in?
56.50, sir.
Yeah. So these are the trades when you're looking for trades, bro. These are the trades you want to be calling out in the Discord. So my entry price was where's my entry? 9658. 9658? 96 where's my entry? Oh, my bad. 9631. So these are the type of trades when you see them, man, just call them out and then people can go look. And this is where you guys decide what you like. Me personally, I like this trade because my 30 just bent up and that's what I trade off of, right? So I trade off of the 30, right? Now, if I go to my 5 minute, right, and your 5 minutes already at the top. On a long, when it's pushing up like that, I don't worry too much because the 30 minute is a pretty strong thing. Now you could sit here and say, okay, what's the next thing I want to see? Remember I just said you want the 5 minute candle to break the 200 moving average? So for me, I'm happy with this trade. So look at the trade and decide, take a look at it and say, if you like this type of trade and you like looking at the RSIs, this might be something, this is a trade you should be posting like in the Discord, like, hey, the 2 hour RSI and all that. And then we can all take a look and decide what we're getting into, right? Personally, I think Doge is hot right now, which is trending. So I like it. It has potential to move. The RSI is bottomed out and the 4 hour RSI is moving. So for me, financial advice wise, no one ever gives financial advice. It's all up to what you want to do when you do it. But for me, these type of trades right here, they're just higher percentages for me when I look at it and say, I like the fact that we're above the 5 minute. I like the fact that we tested the 30 minute and 15 minute 200 moving averages. The RSI is being bottomed out. This is probably going to, have some type of movement over here. And then stop loss wise, all I would do here is kind of take a look at two levels here. I would look at the 15-minute, right? And also, guys, like keep in mind too, if you have these RSIs up here, there's no shame in the game saying, hey, watch for this 5-minute RSI pullback. Let the 5-minute pull back, right? More than likely, it's going to probably pull you back to this 200 moving average, right? So that's kind of what you can look for. Let's see what our entry is running in this zone here. All right, so you can wait for that 5-minute pullback, which I like. I normally recommend that because if you don't understand where the position is or what you're seeing, you're never in a bad position to always wait for what's called confirmation, right? So confirmation would say, okay, I got my 30 minutes at the bottom, right? And it's just coming off the top. That looks amazing. And that's why I'm getting in, because of my 30-minute crossed, right? But you guys, if you're doing confirmation, there's nothing wrong with letting the 15-minute fizzle out, come back down, and then go up, or even waiting for the 5-minute, which is where you should go and trade. You should go into the 5-minute trade and then wait for your 5-minute to pull back, come down, and then we'll check this out later. I want to see what the price is when it does pull back, and then you guys can see like what your entry could have been, right? And that kind of gives you an idea of what you're getting, right? There's always a 5-minute pullback, right? So we're going to put this trade in here. Here's your 5-minute pullback. This is why you don't have to rush or panic. You just play. A lot of times when people are like, yo, we got a long here, you just go to your 5-minute and wait for your 5-minute RSI to line up with your, your 30, right? Playing the simple rule of the pullback, right? And we also have the 5-minute pullbacks, right? So a lot of times when we're seeing trades that are moving or pumping, what's the one trade that we always wait on? A 5-minute pullback, right? There's no if the trade is already pumping and it's looking like good percentages, wait for the 5-minute pullback. Play the 5-minute pullback. The RSI pulls back. If you get a red moon, it's just a better entry, right? That's the way to do it. Go to your 5-minute, wait for the pullback. So right now, we're going to take a look at this price here, and the price.
Hey, could you jazz me and tell me what you think it'll do? I'm in on it on a long, and I'm up by 15%. Looks like it's still going up, but I don't know how far it'll go up.
What are you looking at, Jasmine?
Jasmine, yeah.
I love Jasmine. All right, let's go here.
I'm up 15% on it, but I don't know how long I should stay in,
Jasmine's a good coin. Let's take a look. So first thing you do, man, we'll walk you through here, right? So when you're finding the trades, you just want to be in a Jazz. I don't know if it has Jasmine. Here you are. Is it let me get a .p in there. I don't know if it has that on there. All right, let's get, are you on Bybit, Bitget? Is that on MEXC?
I'm on Qcoin.
All right, let me take a look. All right, so, let's see what we have here. Here's Tuesday, Monday, Saturday. Go back to your last week, and there you go, Sunday. Okay, so, first thing we do is take advantage of our highs and our lows of the previous week, right? There you go, highs and lows of the previous week. Man, you didn't call it, man. You got to call these trades out, bro. Put it in Discord.
I will start.
Yeah, I got to yell at you guys every day. Like, post what you're trading. Everybody can take a look
Oh,
at it.
I'm losing. I'm afraid to yell them out. Everybody's gonna lose money on my trade.
No. That's not how it works, right? So how it works is like this, right? I think so. How it works is you post what you're getting into, right? And then people will look at it, right? So we'll have a big thing on that. You're not supposed to get in trades that people are calling out because you're supposed to look yourself, right? So what it is that when you post a trade, the whole point of it is to hold yourself accountable. So when you say, hey, man, I look at Jasmine, right? So here how it goes, right? So right now we're looking at the trade, right? So for instance, on Doge, right? So you could put in Doge. When you see like in Doge, you see I put like Doge long, incoming, 4-hour RSI, bending north, 2-hour north from bottom, 1-hour bottom, right? Right? And that's where you can go and say, looking at 5 minute to enter, right? Now, when you put that there, right? And when you put looking at 5 minutes to enter, right? That means you've already done all the research. You think it's a good trade, right? You don't have to post any of that other shit that I posted. But when I see you post that, and everybody else will see you post that, they will all go there and go, shit. Then their job and responsibility is to go through the same shit that you have in the system, right? The system is to do what? We just did it, right? This is us walking through a trade right now. First thing is to go to the 1 hour, go back to the beginning of last Sunday and this Sunday, and find the average highs and lows. Here's our average high of last week. Here's our average low. And now where are we at? Now we come over here and we dissect this week. And we have a position here where it is currently right now fighting its top right here. So actually this should be sitting down a little bit lower. So right now Jasmine's coming up to its highest high, right? This is where it's trying to have price discover. Second thing is you take a look here and go, okay, so what's our bottom trend if it doesn't break through there? And that's going to be somewhere on the top of these candles here. And I'm going to put 2 lines here just so I can come back and move them around. Okay, so now this one right here, we're going to open this up a little bit. And I'm going to push this up to the bottom of this support area here, right? So we can see the resistance, support, and that gives us our little line there. And then this one I'm going to set up, and I'm going to find the next support and resistance, which is right about here, right? So that gives me an idea of where Jasmine can go if it decides to go a different direction at the current time, right? So now that's where we go. Now we're looking like, all right, is Jasmine going to break through here? This is the previous high that Jasmine had right in here. And that's what it's trying to break through right there. Perfect. All right, now let's take a look. All right, so Jasmine's heading to this level here, right? 52.29. I can't believe it's this cheap, to be honest with you, bro. Jesus Christ. All right, so here's it comes up, has its rejection, right? That's that little rejection line that we were seeing earlier. All right, that's kind of like that. We've seen this reject 3 or 4 times before. Like you see these other candles, rejections in these little zones here. Rejection, 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 it came down, right? Now, third time it normally doesn't get through. Now for Jasmine, you rejected right here, you had a pullback, it came up, it re-established it. See how it touched this twice? See this little touch candle right here? Pushed up, came down, up, came and retested, right? So when you see something dump and it basically finds support, when it retests that support, that's your long position, right? So jumping in there, you're good. And now it broke through what it just was trying to get through, which basically moves us to the next level here, which is the top of these candles right here. This is where it's headed right now. So there we go. So now Jasmine is going to basically be looking to test this 52.35 mark right there, right? So now that we know that Jasmine's moving up, now we go over here and say, okay, man, Jasmine's moving up. Let's go take a look here. Hey, babe. And we'll take a look here. And now when we take a look here, we can see over. What's the first thing we do when we look at a coin? We look at the 4 hour. What's the 4 hour? The 4 hour is starting to bend here, which is okay. 4 hour means that within the next 12 hours, it's going to get weak. But look at the daily. The daily's still pushing up, right? That's huge. You have a red moon. Look at Jasmine. Look at this. Jasmine's looking to catch a daily green moon. Dude, if it gets a daily green moon, that's massive, bro.
What's a daily green moon?
That's a 24-hour candle getting a green moon. That's bigger than the 4 hour. Boom, look at this. Look at this. You have a 4 hour moon right here. That's where you should have entered, right? This is the trade you should be called out. Jasmine, 4 hour moon. Boom. Here's the entry right there. 4978. Look at this massive gain that everybody missed because nobody calls out 4 hour moons.
I don't think I entered there, bro. I entered when I got into Jasmine. I got in at 5100, and that was on. I don't even know what date it was. To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fine. But what I'm saying is these are the trades we have to track. Look at this. See, remember I told you find your 4-hour moons, right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 4-hour moon, and the next candle right there. That right there was a 4% move so far, right? Now, we look at the 4-hour RSI. We're bending down, but that's okay. It's still a lot of buying pressure up here, and the volume is getting bigger. Yo, what up, man? How you doing, Fatima? And now we got a green trend, right? So now we got a green moon, green trend. This is going to be a push. So this is a 4-hour green moon, green trend at this level. So you're going to see some type of push here. So we're still moving up. Then we go to the 2-hour. Look at the 2-hour RSI bending up for you right here. So now you're trading with your 2-hour. You're trading with your 3-hour starting to bend up. And now the 4-hour looks like it's going to probably have to follow the 2 and the 3. So boom, go to the 1-hour. Where's your 1-hour? Look at your 1-hour bending up right here. You see that? All right, this is a good trade. So everything right now, you're in with your 2, your 4, your 1, and now you go to your 30. Where's your 30 minute? So the 30 minute, if you would have got in this trade on that trade side down here on the 30, could have had a nice entry here at 508, but you got in right above that, right? So you're still in a good spot, and you got your 1-hour green moon right there. So this thing is heating up right here. Now it's still going to have a 30-minute push here. You're still pushing on your 30-minute RSI. So for me, the 15 minutes a little overbought, so it's probably going to have a pullback here at some point because it's been pushing so much. And then I would let the 15-minute and the 30-minute RSI reset, and then I would get into a long in that. So what you're trying to avoid is the 5-minute pullback. So far, you have a green moon. You have volumes up here. It's still pushing. You're looking good. So what you want to do is slide over here to your 1 minute and kind of get ahead of the curve and say, okay, let me see what we're looking like here, right? So far, you have a red moon, which isn't great for that, but it is a green trend, right? So as long as that green trend stays there, I would stay in your position, because you're gonna fight that trend, and hopefully you can get this to a green moon and this continues to push. But if you get a red trend here, that's where I would start looking to move my stop loss up a little better and start to get ready. Because if you get a red moon on the 3-minute, then I would, that's when I would get out of my long, and then what I would wait for is the next long, which is going to be the 15-minute resetting, the 30-minute resetting, and then that's going to be the trade.
Sounds good.
You see how that works?
Appreciate that. I sure do.
Right. And this is where don't rush trades, just find the best trade. That's it. Right? Don't over trade. Like everyone can be trading all damn day and you're just sitting around, just sit around until you find your trade. Right? Until we never miss a green moon on a 4-hour, then I will know that we're doing what the hell we're supposed to do.
Are we better off like focusing on a particular amount of coins, or is it better to jump around with all the different coins that there are?
Top 30, 40 coins, right? Your job, what you should be looking at is for 2-hour green moons and 2-hour 4 moons that are coming. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm
out of the coin.
Yeah, if I'm looking at a coin and there's like no moons happening or it doesn't look like it's coming, then I go to another coin. And I just keep going through all the coins and I start looking for like what's popping, right? Go to, I told you guys, like there's a thing called, Crypto Panic, right? Go to cryptopanic.com. And if you don't know what you're looking for, go to cryptopanic.com. And then this has all the news, right? So just look here and go, oh, ADA outperforms ETH, right? Which means if this came out 13 minutes ago. So ADA might pump because of that. You see that? Mm-hmm. Then you have alts dominant, right? And you can read that. Interpool, Elon Doge, all this stuff, right? So what you're doing is as the news comes out, you might see something where, oh, big merger, Matic and Visa. Go right to Matic and get into that damn thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Look at this. Here, 3 hours ago, Matic. This is called Crypto Panic.
up, Alex?
That's in your news section. I'm gonna post it in the right now for you, so that you guys that should be a website that's up all day long while you're scrolling around, and you should be looking at articles that are coming out. Right? Here's the cool thing. Right? There's a little search button. You see that search? Type in Jasmine. Right? So you type in Jasmine coin. Right? Click on it. This tells you everything that is happening with Jasmine. Right? Here, 4 days ago, Jasmine grant. Thrilled to announce that the first shortlisted of Jasmine grants. 5 days ago. You see what I'm saying? Right? No real news right now that's popping. So go back over to your main show and then go through there and see what's happening, right? This is how you find what's trending. This is what you find what's happening instantly, so that you can get ahead of the curves and start catching stuff that's pumping, you know? But this right here, ADA outperforms ETH.
Crypto bubbles good to look at.
Yeah, you can look at crypto bubbles too. Yeah, crypto bubbles too. Here's our little Doge pullback there. All right, let's take a look. What did ADA? Let's take a look at ADA, right? So Cardano's got that big news that just came out, right? So here's ADA. Hey, babe, you ready? All right, well, let me know.
I'm in ADA too long.
Here's your 4 hour on ADA right here. Here's your hour. Boom. There's your pump. Everything's coming around. Look at your RSI starting to come through. So this just came out 13 minutes ago. Take a look at your 2 hour. Boom. We're about to get a 2 hour on Cardano. Like, look at that. Here's a 2 hour in going. ADA pump coming in.
ADA's going up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, I'm going to put it there. Just watch that, right? So right there, for me, anytime there's good news on Cardano, what happens to Cardano? Goes up, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull up Cardano, see how it's doing right here. And I can see that I'm about to get a 2 hour move here. Here, first thing I'm going to do is check the 4 hour RSI. What do we have? That 4 hours just bounced up in my favor. 2 hour RSI, 3 hours in my favor. 1 hour is also in my favor. So all I need is a 30-minute to be in my favor, right? So right here, here's your 30-minute getting to the top. So as soon as this 30-minute resets, I'm getting into a long. Right, you see how simple that is? Right, so now I just wait for ADA's 30-minute pullback, let that come back, and then boom, that's a long position. So right now we're looking at Cardano. The price that we were looking to get in is in this area up here, right? We're gonna wait for a 30-minute pullback, and bada boom, bada bing. All right, guys, we'll do some more videos, but that's how you do your trades, right? So go back, watch this video. That's how you do your 10 trades, right? It's not about, money. It's about percentages, right? We have to get our 40 to 50% wins, and then every once in a while we get our 100, 200% gainers. And at the end of the day, even if you break even on 2 trades, lose 2 trades, at the end of the 10 trades that you did, you have doubled your bag. That is your goal. 10 solid trades in 10 days, right? Then you do it again and again, and then at the end of the month you have successfully multiplied yourself 4 times, and then you increase to a $100 trading bag, and you repeat the process. And you're like, all right, VC, but that's going to take me forever. In 2 months you're trading with $200 bags, and you have 4 of them, which means you have 4 trade capabilities, right? By the end of 3 months you're trading with $400 bags, and you have 4 of them, right? So if you can double, that's 4, 8, 12, $1,600. If you can double $1,600 every 10 days, how much is that a month? Right? It's $4,000 a month. It took you 3 months to get there. All right. Simple shit, man. All right, guys.